What's up guys, I'm Matt here. We're looking at scatter graphs today. So got quite a lengthy one from OCR to start us off. And it says that Lee wishes to find out relationship between person's age and time it takes them to do a puzzle. Lee conducts an experiment, right. So she asks, let's have a look, she asks 12 people. So what's she doing? She asks 12 people to complete the puzzle. She records the person's age and the time taken to complete the puzzle. Make one criticism of Lee's method. Now, we don't know an awful lot about Lee's method, but we do know that there are only 12 people, and 12 is not an awful lot. So we could say something like sample size is small. You might also be able to mention that there's nothing there saying that the people were selected randomly, or anything along those lines. But given the fact we're only given one piece of information, I'd probably make a comment on that. So scatter graph shows results. Here are two other results. Plot these on the scatter diagram. Okay, so first of all, we've got to work out the fact that the age is here and age is at the bottom, and time is here and time is up the side. It's important to work out which way around it is. So 47 would be here. And so 47 and 21, so 21 would be this one here. And always check the scale. Always check you've got the scale right. And these are both going up in ones, which is nice. The next one is 60, which is here, up to 34, which would be this one. And just put a neat cross. Don't ever put a dot or anything else. Just a neat cross is always the best way. Right, what type of correlation? Now, the word type means that there'll be three answers. It's either going to be positive, negative, or no correlation. And it's always best practice just to draw the line of best fit in. And to do a line of best fit, put your ruler down and try and make sure the ruler goes with the data. So we don't want the ruler going like that. It needs to go with the data and try and get roughly the same amount of points above and below the line. So I'm just going to draw my line of best fit there. Now, if the line of best fit is going up, then it is positive. If it goes down, it's negative. Now, that's clearly going up. So it's positive. Now, my advice is if you ever get a scatter diagram or scatter graph in your exam, always draw the line of best fit because you'll almost always need to use it. It's always good to do it, because if we look at question D, it says estimate the time it would take a person aged, let's choose a different colour, age 35 to complete the puzzle. So we can only do this with a line of best fit, so you must do a line of best fit. It says show your working to justify your answer. Basically means what I'm about to do now. So age is 35, and what we do is we go across to 35, and we draw a line up, and then we draw a line across where it hits our line of best fit. Now, it's not exactly 9, but for me, I'm going to put down 9. It's close enough to 9. Alright, the last question says 80% of the 12 people, or at least 80% of the 12 people, completed the puzzle in under 30 seconds. This is what Lee's saying. So we want to work out 80% of 12. So 100% of 12 is 12. What should we do? 50% would be 6. 10% would be 1.2. 30% would be 3 times that, which would be what, 3.6. And so 80% would be that one and that one. That makes 80%. So that would be 9.6. So 80% is 9.6. And it says at least 80% of the 12 people. So we're looking at, 10 or more. So that would be 10 or more. Okay, because you can't get half a person, so yeah. Okay, so it's under 30 seconds. Under 30 seconds. So let's find out where 30 seconds is. And let's draw a line across from there. So this is our cutoff line here. And so what we just need to do is count the amount underneath that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 below it. So we need to write that down somewhere. So 9 were under 30 seconds. So, and this is the important bit here, because it says, is Lee correct? You have to answer the question. So no, Lee is not correct. You don't need that last bit, but you could do. Now what we could have done is worked out 9 over 12 as a percentage, or worked out what 3 over 12 as a percentage. So 9 over 12 divided on 1 by 3, get 3/4, and that's 0.75, which is 75%. And so 75% is not at least 80%. So we could have done it that way. There's loads of different ways we could have done this question, but the important thing is to realise that no, and that 9 there is very, very important that we've written that down. And some students don't realise that each of those crosses are a person, right? And so that's the important thing to take from that. Next up, AQA, and it's the same kind of deal. We've got a scatter graph. So without really reading the question, I'm just going to draw a line of best fit, and just try and make sure roughly you got the same amount of points above and below the line. You don't have to be perfect with it. So if you've got 6 above and 8 below, you don't need to redraw it. As long as you're roughly correct, you're fine. And some students panic about that, but don't. Like if I drew a line, you know, like that or something, that would be wrong. But that's absolutely fine what I've drawn there. Now it says what type of correlation. So it's either positive, negative, or no correlation. The line of best fit is going up, so it's positive. Right. Manager expects the sales of umbrellas next month to be £60. Draw a line of best fit to estimate the sales of raincoats next month. Okay. So we're already a step ahead because we've done the line of best fit. And we are given the umbrellas to be £60, so we're looking at the sales of raincoats. So umbrellas are £60, so this is umbrellas here. So all I need to do is draw a line up from £60, which should be here, and a line across, if I get it better, and well, that's about 125, so about 125. Now you might get a slightly different answer to me because everyone draws their line of best fit slightly different. The mark scheme will always take that into account. So for instance, if you drew the line of best fit slightly down or slightly up, you'll get a different value when you read it off. So just be wary of that. And last up we've got Edexcel, and with Edexcel we've got a slightly different type of question. Sean has already drawn a scatter graph and he's drawn a line of best fit. And we're told to write down 2 things that are wrong with his answer. And this is kind of like a game almost, where you've got to hunt down the mistakes. The first mistake, I would say, is blindingly obvious. We've seen a lot of line of best fits for this video, so we know the line of best fit should look something like that. Now, we can probably ask ourselves, well, what was Sean obsessed with this line of best fit? Why was it so wrong? Well, he's probably remembered at some point someone telling him that all graphs need to go through the origin, so down at this point, even though this isn't the origin, and he's just assumed that he's got to do it like that. So the first comment will be something with the line of best fit. So the line of best fit is in the wrong position. It doesn't or does not go with the data. So what I mean by that is this goes with the data, his one doesn't, right? And you could probably just write the line of best fit's wrong, and you'd probably still get the mark on this. The other thing you might think's wrong with it is that it starts at 140 and 85. You can actually have graphs start at non-zero, at different numbers, Normally you'd expect there to be a kind of symbol in there to say that some were missed out. But there's nothing wrong with starting at 85 for the weight and 140 for the height. And this is what normally concerns me when I'm sitting practicing and going through these papers, is I get to a question like this, I'm like, there must be something else I'm missing here. And so what I then do is check the actual numbers themselves. So this is 85, 90, 95, 100, 105. Well, that's looks fine, going up in fives. Then you notice this one, 140, 160. So it's going up in 20s. So the next one will be 180, but it's not. It's 170. So it's not going up in 20s. It's actually going up in 10s. So they've missed out 150 here. So just something like the height axis is missing 150, something like that. I mean, I'm sure you can just write 150 is missing or something like that, but try and highlight where it's missing, just to make sure you get the marks. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please click like. If you want to see more from us, click subscribe. And we release videos every single weekday, that's Monday to Friday, at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you want to see even more from us, we have a website, onmaths.com, which I'm sure you've been to. If you haven't, there will be a card that magically appears above me now, and there's loads of free resources. You can sign up for free, etc., etc. Everything on that site is completely free, and they're just to help you with your maths. Otherwise, thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.